How are you?
Great. So today we've got guest. Great. So today we've got guest Glenn Moore.
What happened there?
Oh, I'll cut that out. So what happened there won't make any sense.
What happened there?
Keep saying what happened there. I'll just write a song about cool rock. What happened there?
What happened? No, what did happen there?
Happened there, boy, when it all went quiet. You got your thumb in your ass and you're taking it down. What happened there, son, when it all went dead? You gotta focus on the party instead. What happened there, boy, when it all went quiet? You got your thumb in your ear and you're taking your time. What happened there, boy, when it all went dead? You gotta focus on the party instead. What happened there, boy, when it all went quiet? You got your thumb in your ass and you're shaking it down. What happened there, son, when it all went dead? You gotta focus on the party instead. What happened there, boy, when it all went quiet? You got your thumb in your ear and you're taking it down. What happened there, boy, when it all went dead? Focus on the party instead. Focus on the party instead.
I don't know if I've ever met Glenn. Have you?
Yeah, he's lovely.
Naomi booked him for a gig.
Oh, your East Grinstead one?
Yeah.
It's really nice. He makes me laugh. He's got a good,
It's a good
brain.
joke writer, isn't he?
He had a thing on Twitter, you know, the bio. I think I've told you this before. It always made me giggle. He said, nephew to 3 beautiful uncles was his Twitter bio.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
I don't know why it made me giggle. It's like, you know, some Tim Vine jokes. They just pop in your head every now and then.
Really good.
Always made me giggle, that.
Fucking hell, I feel slow.
Do you?
Yeah.
In what way?
Yeah.
Is there going to be any preamble to Glenn coming on, do you reckon?
I think this is it, more or less. Bits and
No,
pieces.
if we keep cutting stuff because it's like too downbeat or whatever.
Yeah, it needs punchy. I'll do a punk song called I'll cut this out. I'll do a punk
A
song.
punk song? Do you already know it's going to be called? It's going to be punk.
Yeah.
How quickly can you think of the genre it's going to be? Is that instinct?
Huh?
How quickly do you think of the genre when you hear the title and you go, "Oh, punk"? Look, because you said punk straight away there.
Yeah. I'll cut this out. I'll cut.
Yeah, didn't answer my question though. Went off and out the world.
I was thinking the next verse.
Yeah. Stop going into. Yeah, are you going to write it now, or do you think in your head? Have you got?
I'll cut this. I'll cut that.
I don't know how you're coming up with this. I don't know how you're coming up with all this on the spot. Just saying, I'll cut this out in an aggressive way.
I'll cut this.
It's hardly like that bit in the Beatles documentary.
You'll hear it and go, wow. What, from that he produced I'll cut this out?
I reckon it's going to sound quite like that. How are you going to get a baby girl in that? You can't get a baby girl in that.
Cut this out. I like the bass line.
What's the bass line? How do you transfer you going into
Well, I
an
play it on the
actual-
keyboard.
That blows my mind. But how do you know how to get that in a sound?
I just play it by ear.
So you go, but how? What do you mean?
Well, I just know what those notes are, and I play it on the keyboard.
Oh.
And then I want to beat it. Keep it simple.
Do you now?
Yeah.
Are you going to have a at any It's amazing where inspiration just hits you, isn't it?
It is weird. Something just
happens in my brain.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's physical. I think it's more spiritual. Just happens.
I really want you to write the song and then stick it in there to see how close to what that is.
It will be.
Fuck the system, fuck the royals, fuck the suits, fuck the suits, fuck the system, fuck the royals, fuck the suits, fuck the suits. Don't stop dreaming, boy. Don't stop dreaming, girl. Quit your running, boy. Quit your running, girl. Let's cut this out. Let's cut this out. Let's cut this out. Let's cut this out. Fuck the royals, fuck the system, fuck the suits, fuck the suits, fuck the royals, fuck the system, fuck those suits, fuck those suits. Quit your running, boy. Quit your running, girl. Stop dreaming, boy. Don't stop dreaming, girl. I got this out. I got this out. I got this out. I got this out.
I imagine you have to do the scream on your own though. Like in isolation.
Fuck the royals, fuck the system, fuck the suits, fuck the suits.
And then what's the title of it?
I'll cut this out. I'll cut this.
It's probably your most political. Fuck
Quite like
royal-
saying
Fuck,
suits.
who are the suits, by the way?
I don't
The
know, like
government?
Tesco managers and
Who are just trying to get by,
supermarkets.
just trying to pay for their mortgage that's gone up. Do you mean the government? The suits of the government, right?
Oh, yeah, or like,
Or
I don't know,
Tesco.
comedy commissioners.
All right. That took a sharp left turn. What's the song title again? I keep forgetting.
I'll cut this out. Fuck the royals, fuck the system, fuck the suits, fuck the suits. Fuck the suits.
Why are you comfortable doing that?
I don't. It gives me a little.
Is it like a
little
pleasure
buzz.
pain thing?
Yeah, it's pleasure pain. It reminds me of Paul Weller. Oh, fuck the suits going underground.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
He slagged off Robert Smith the other day. Idiot. I'm going underground, oh, the boys so wicked, the boy. Fucking hell, turn it in, Paul.
Yeah, and
I can
you.
cut all this out. I'm cutting this all out, just in case we get him on as a guest.
Playing the long game.
Yeah.
Fucking. Hi, Paul. How are you? Imagine that, Paul Weller.
too bad, boys. Yeah. Not too
Wow,
bad,
look
is
at
it?
your studio. Are those like platinum. Fucking hell.
I was never a Paul Weller fan. Found it really.
I liked Paul Weller.
can't get into it.
I also like the fact I liked Paul Weller, I think.
I like the fact I didn't. Weirdly though, his first single I ever bought was Town Called Malice. Town Called Malice.
I don't know enough about music to
I've
know
got to
what
cut
I
all
should
this
have been.
out, so I don't want him to hear this.
Oh, fuck off. Paul Weller's not coming on. I really don't know.
The thing is, part of me thinks he's quite good, so I don't know why I'm saying this. It's because he had to go to Robert Smith. It's like, back
Yeah,
off,
all right.
fella.
Yeah, I think he'll A, not give a shit, B, not listen, and 3, you've apologised. So it's
Although
fine.
I found an interview of Robert Smith in 1985 slagging off Paul Weller, so
Well, I think then they're bad as each other.
yeah, they are.
That's that sorted.
I really feel like I've got to cut all this Paul Weller stuff out.
No, you haven't got to cut it
Yeah, I don't
out.
like that someone might go, Paul, just might be a chatter biscuit. Paul, you listen to this.
Right, if you're listening,
Who's this fucking cunt?
don't in any way get Paul Weller. Fucking hell, who's going to get Paul Weller involved? Jesus, what?
I love the idea we have a beef with Paul Weller.
I also just go.
Oh, I actually think you're good.
Yeah, and what the hell are we?
He wouldn't listen this far though. He'll just listen to the.
Oh my god, your songs get played like 7 times in the set.
Shall I read you what he said about Robert Smith?
Yeah.
Weller,
Yeah.
Robert Smith.
Oh, Glenn Moore's here.
Paul Weller
Glenn
calls the Cure's Robert Smith a fat cunt.
Hello.
Hello, Glenn.
Hi there. Guys, I'm just dialing in to say I just need to restart my laptop. I'll be back in like a few minutes. Is that okay? I'm really sorry about this.
Not at all.
All right, I'll speak to you guys in a bit.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
That's a nice, confident. That's excellent.
Do you hear how that sentence went?
Weller, the writer, then responded to the observation with a mixture. Right, hang on a minute.
Right, David, did you not hear any of that, how that went?
What?
When Glenn came in, you went...
What?
Listen to it back. You went, Paul Weller says, Robert Smith is a fat cunt. Glenn went, hello, and you went, oh, hello, mate. And then he went, I've got to call back in a sec. And it all just ploughed on like...
Oh, right. At one point in the conversation, the interviewer noted how one of the tracks on Noel Gallagher's upcoming new album bears a resemblance to The Cure's Forest. It doesn't. Very poor observation, that. Weller, the writer, then responded to this observation with a mixture of incredulity and revulsion. Really? The singer-songwriter continued, I can't fucking stand him. Fucking fat cunt with his lipstick and all that bollocks. He's my age as well, isn't he? Weller added, he's a fucking knobhead. I don't like him. There you go. There's someone I would work with. I'd fucking slap him. Wow! Horrible saying that about. Imagine saying that about another comedian.
Publicly.
Huh?
I said publicly.
Yeah, public. I mean, yeah, we bleep it, of course. Have the decency to bleep it, Paul.
Have a decency to text it to each other.
Oh, fucking
Well, I
hell. I
like your
can't
cup.
put this out. Huh?
Oh, you gosh, Jesus wept. I like your cup.
It's nice, isn't it? It's Naomi's cup.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Here's mine.
Oh, blimey, O'Reilly.
It's good, isn't it? It's like
Oh, have you got loads of nice cups? Well,
got two nice cups.
Yeah, I was going to say, the rest of them just hit like sort of like this sort of.
Well, Naomi bought these thinking they were, and I was like, I'm not sure about that. They look like a nursing home.
This one's not.
Oh, I'll play that to Naomi. Your response.
What? What's a pink cup? I don't know what.
I'd love it if that was Glenn's. Just that's his only. Never hear from him again. What a brilliant little interview.
What, restarting his laptop?
Yeah, it just doesn't come on again. That's it. Call it the Glenn Moore.
The Glenn Moore interview.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Hey, Glenn. Oh, okay, cheers, mate.
We should just log off now.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Just
great.
text. I text him. You had your chance. Then put all his tour dates in the bio for me.
Well, we said one of his bio is really funny. That joke in the bio.
Yeah, that'll get people in.
That's enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he's a really good writer. He probably doesn't want to do this.
Don't need to chat for half an hour, do you?
No.
Shall I text him? Do you want to call it a day?
No, don't, because he might think we don't want to talk to him.
Oh, better cut that out. So good at this, aren't we?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm so sorry about all that. Sorry.
No,
That's all
not
right.
at all. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry to have rescheduled this previously as well. Apologies.
No, not sure.
Please keep apologising.
Yes.
I will. After every sentence. Sorry.
No, you love.
What a worm I am.
We're the same.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about your brilliant Twitter bio.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I hadn't heard it, and then Joe told me. I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant."
I was saying,
Oh, thanks.
every now and then I used to go back and just look at it. It always made me. I'm going to look at Glenn's little bio.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, a profile that's presumably going to be soon to be not really seen by anyone because of the mass exodus.
Hey, is there? I'm not really following it.
What's the mass exodus? What do you mean?
You're going to lose your blue tick, Joe.
Loads of people are going to. Loads of people are performatively leaving, but I think people are generally leaving.
Do you think?
Yeah, I've noticed a drop in followers, definitely.
What people are leaving Twitter because they don't like it?
Just because of Elon Musk, I guess. Yeah. No, it's a combination of like blue tick people leaving because they'd have to pay to keep a blue tick.
You have to pay to keep what? I don't know.
Yeah, you have to pay £8
Have you missed all of
this or
this?
something? I must admit, I've missed it a little bit. I know that bit.
Honestly, all of this is new to me. Right?
Yeah,
Elon Musk owns Twitter, does he?
He now owns Twitter.
I didn't
and
even know that.
In a
Right.
bid to make more money for the platform, anyone with a blue tick has to pay $8 a month to keep it.
But why would you keep it?
Because I guess to verify it was you, if you were having a problem with, like, say, 20 people with Joe Wilkinson accounts and like pictures of your face,
Is that what you did?
it would help.
Right, okay.
It would help differentiate. Yeah.
Why? Okay. So people are leaving.
Yeah, I think so.
That's exciting.
Are they? Have you
I don't know,
lost-
but there's no alternative. There's this other site called Mastodon, which a few people have tried to sign up for.
Mastodon?
Yeah, it's so shit.
That's catchy.
It looks like identical to Twitter, but it's just impossible to negotiate. I tried to go on it earlier, and I couldn't get my head around it.
Excuse me, Mastodon.
Oh, right.
Explore.
Mastodon, yeah.
So I did see someone say along the lines of, I don't know what I'm going to do if everyone leaves Twitter and I have to leave. I don't know what, like it was a big, it's like, God, would I miss it if it suddenly disappeared? I don't think so.
I'd feel a lot better, I think, if I didn't have it. Everyone I know who left it said they felt so much nicer every day. But I felt like I'd curated a decent enough timeline where it was like, right, anyone I know who posts funny stuff but retweets annoying stuff, I just turn off their retweets. Anyone who I have to follow because I'm like friends with them, but I don't find their tweets funny, I'll just mute them. All I was seeing was just jokes every day, and that was great. I loved it. And I wouldn't get any of the insane...
Do you know, when the last Twitter account I started, because I left and came back, I think I just had cricketers, footballers, some comedians and musicians. It was lovely.
Yeah, it's great.
Really lovely. Yeah.
You don't have to
I don't
look
know
at
why,
it.
but I seem to get like maybe I didn't know you could do any of the muting or whatever. I get lots of when I look at it, I get lots of stuff where people are sort of, I guess, because someone follows them or likes them, they get things
Yeah, and it shows up in your top. There's no way around that, and it's so annoying because you go, I specifically don't follow this person.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah.
When did that start? Because I
Probably about a year ago, maybe.
and I'm like, what? So
It's really annoying.
I don't remember following them, and then I click on it and I go, and then I thought it might have something to do with, I don't know, favourites or something. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
$8 a month.
that was fucking pay that, are they?
I don't know. I think they were.
Fucking hell.
See, I was never part of the blue tick community,
No,
so
I've never been a blue
no
tick
loss to
dude.
me. Yeah.
Are you not a
This
blue
is just you, Joe.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a wonderful world when you're there.
Oh, I can imagine.
But there must be. I bet your little feathers got puffed
Well,
up
no,
a
I'll
bit.
tell
when
you what
got the-
happened to me. My agent at the time said, "We've got you a blue tick," and I said, well, "Okay," and they said yes, and I remember thinking, how do you do that? And they got in contact with Twitter and said, "Can we have a blue tick?"
Yeah,
for this person, and then I felt really weird. Like,
I had the same with was it Avalon?
yes, it was Avalon. Yes.
Yeah, they did the same for me for Instagram and Facebook, and they were like, "You're verified on Facebook now," and it was like, it was news to me that I still had a Facebook account. I had no idea.
But it's a weird moment being told you've been given a blue tick and they've got you a blue tick and you don't know what to sort of say in return.
So why are you complaining about going to Hereford this Friday, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chin up.
Yeah.
And would you mind doing, instead of doing 20, do 45 for the same
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
Glenn, you're a brilliant joke writer.
Oh, thank you, David.
Well, you are. Have you got a set that's absolutely bulletproof in the clubs?
No.
You're joking.
Well, I've got like I'd have like my 20, and that would change every year. But it wasn't like absolutely like every single joke you guarantee would get an applause break, you get a standing ovation at the end. It wasn't like machine built.
I did. I was super awesome.
Oh, did you? Oh, well,
I
congratulations.
can't believe you went to that kind of level of a joke needing to work that much. I was like, I just thought, do they all laugh? Do you go?
Oh right, yeah.
Like standing ovation. I was like, what are you on about?
I had a set that would ensure I wouldn't be asked to leave the club afterwards.
Right.
I'll make sure I have a set that would ensure I'd get rebooked. Yeah.
And how many jokes in 20 minutes do you have? Because you must sort of know how many you need.
I don't know. So I used to count up for like full length, like Edinburgh Fringe shows. I used to count for those.
I've listened to ComCom Pod, mate. I know you do.
Yeah.
One of my favourite episodes. I really want to talk to you about it, but David wondered whether it's too niche to be talking about.
I wouldn't be too niche, but I've been dreading. I've been dreading. So I haven't listened back to that, and I'm dreading about how I come across.
I adore you anyway, but I adore you more because I could tell how uncomfortable you were about talking about yourself and comedy, and I was like, this is everything I want.
Oh, I might have to listen to this.
It's great.
God.
You're so apologetic. You're halfway through answering a question that he's asked you and you're on the pod to do, and you go, oh God, sorry, I don't know why and you go, because he's just asked you. It's great.
What's it
Oh,
like doing
God.
that podcast? Because I'd crumble.
I couldn't do it.
It said a lot that I think I might be the only guest where he didn't even bother to ask at the end, "Are you happy?"
Oh, it's so nice though. You come across brilliantly because you're so like, oh, why am I talking about me? It's great.
There are some absolute corkers on that.
They really are.
Oh my! What's your fave? I'll bleep it out.
Oh, mine probably. Well, obviously, it's madness, but you come across brilliantly, and I thought you were because you just. Is it fair to say you struggle to sort of talk about like making comedy, basically?
Yeah. Really, really, really do. Because
It's like
I feel like
Stewart when he's digging in.
Yeah.
I feel like people are just would immediately just think you're big-headed just by talking about it in the first, but by even acknowledging that it's your job. That they go, who the fuck do you think? Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
So I just feel I feel grossly uncomfortable about it at the best of times. Yeah.
And then you're
I
going.
wish this wasn't. To be fair, I wish this wasn't my job. I really wish this wasn't my job.
Yeah.
Life would be so much easier.
When you
for
get
me.
asked, do you what you do for a living? Is your first instinct to lie? Because mine is.
It depends on the situation. I wouldn't say it in an Uber. But
I say I'm a content creator.
That's a guaranteed way for someone to not want to ask any follow-up questions, I think.
I'm a content creator. Wow.
Well, nobody said that's what you are, David. That's what you are.
No.
I suppose I am, actually.
I'm a 48-year-old content creator. And they are the best ones.
Because I get like an Uber every morning to go to Absolute Radio. So this is at like
What?
5:30 in the morning every day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Do you do Absolute Radio?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't me going. Obviously, you guys know this about me. You know.
No, but we talk about what it's like to be on the radio.
Yeah, of course. Well, this is a breakfast show. Yeah, exactly. So, but the problem is, obviously, you do get asked, "What are you doing in this cab at 5:30 in the morning?" And I'm so elusive to the point where I do expect a follow-up call from the police every day, because I never go, "Oh, it's to do comedy at 6 a.m." It's never
No.
I'm really evasive about it. Yeah.
Well, don't be now, because I'm about to ask questions about.
Great.
Well, have you got the breakfast show on Absolute?
Yeah, I'm like a co-presenter. I'm not like
who?
so Dave Berry's the presenter,
Right.
and then there's a team of like 4 of us on air. Yeah.
And what's your? Are you? Because I'm again listening to your. You were like the news. News.
I used to be a newsreader
That's
before
right,
I did stand up.
Yeah.
Did you?
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
On what
So
station?
like Sky and LBC and Classic FM and stuff like that. But just as like a freelance sort of
interview
thing.
we've ever done.
I used to. This is awful because I was freelance. You get put on like all the shifts that no one else wants to do. So when I was at LBC, I had to be the newsreader for Nigel Farage and for Katie Hopkins. No. So this was a really bleak time.
Did you cross paths with them? Did you have to be amicable with them and stuff?
Yeah, I was never in the same like room. I wouldn't. The news booth was in like on a different floor to the studio, but they'd come in every day, and it was weird because Katie Hopkins was just. Is so unlike the TV Katie Hopkins. She is just like a normal person, and she was really friendly.
She's
it's just a character. It's obviously
everything.
just a like she wasn't like this when she was on The Apprentice. It's just she knew that she could get a bit of publicity when she was a tiny bit outspoken.
How did you feel around her when she was just being her normal self? Did you quite like her?
No, she was a fucking dick because it makes it it makes it more reprehensible. And no matter how nice it makes it more reprehensible. But you go, why are you choosing to put on this? Why are you choosing to make a career out of this? But she'd like buy us McDonald's breakfast every Saturday and stuff like that.
Oh, lovely lady.
Until she got sued by Jack Monroe, and then the breakfast like stopped immediately because she lost all her money.
Hang on a minute. So when you say it's all an act.
But she
it
is
can't
a
be
dick.
all an act. It's like heightened her personality for it. She's not. She
No,
believes
as in
everything she says.
literally, she'd sit there with her producer in the mornings. They get the papers out and they go, "What angle shall we do?"
So she
And then the
doesn't believe a word.
No, not at all. And the producer would be like, "I guess we could kind of blame this thing on migrants." And she's like, "Do you reckon people would believe that?" It was like conversations like that. That's not word for word, but it was like that's what it was. Whereas like Farage was through and through like insane.
The real deal.
And so you'd watch like there'd be this is like in the 2016 US election. So you'd have like Trump giving a really incoherent speech on TV, and Nigel Farage would just like stand there and he'd just put his arm around the shoulder of the nearest person and just go, "God, magnificent, isn't he?" Like he was a horse. The thing I was stuck by most with Nigel Farage is that he doesn't have shoulders.
Right.
It just goes neck into body, and there's it's like a worm in a suit. It's really strange.
Yeah, I'm not
outlook.
a million miles from that, unfortunately.
I can't. But so you'd be sat in a little booth. They'd go to the news. Are you on your own in the booth?
Yeah, it's kind of like a wardrobe. You'd stand up. You'd be stood in like this
I think
wardrobe.
I've
It was
seen
like the size of a wardrobe, and you'd just stand in there for like 4 minutes or however long the bulletin was.
Are you nervous?
I used to get really nervous. It was fine if it was like, but you don't think about how many people, like in the same way, but when you're doing this, you don't think about even an individual person who this is going out to.
Probably
And it would like
point where we should.
it would, but it would like you'd go insane if you considered that there's somewhere in a Tesco somewhere where this is blaring out to everyone in the Tesco's. Like that it's like it'd be really unhealthy to think about it that way.
Yeah.
So no, I get really nervous only on LBC because I knew that the listeners were like really hot on their sort of new stuff, and if you slipped up slightly, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Can we hear you just say it's LBC and it's 9 o'clock news?
Did you say you want me to say that?
At some point.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, sure. I'll say that. Yeah.
But did you say that when you're part of your job, or is that like you didn't say that?
You had to say. I think the intro was so whatever time it was. So it'd be from Global's newsroom at 4:00, and then
So
at the end of a
little
bulletin
change
you'd
in your
go.
voice.
Yeah,
Well,
and then at the
quite a
end
big
of a
change in your
bulletin
voice.
you'd go from Global's newsroom for LBC. I'm Glenn Moore.
I'm unrecognisable as Glenn Moore.
But you'd have to change it for the stations because all the stations in that building, they had like Classic FM, but also they had like Capital and Capital Extra. So you'd have to have like a different voice for each of the stations.
What?
That they put you on, so that you
They
sounded a
asked
bit.
you to do a slightly different
But
voice.
or
or-
just for
Yeah.
the fan. They
Not
asked
like
you,
I
no.
don't mean like a different accent. You did, but it was like Classic FM was really whispery, like you were trying not to wake the
go
listener
on.
up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Classic FM would be sort of like it's 6:00. 4 people have died in Barnsley after it, that sort of thing. And then Capital would be like the Met Police are investigating after it, and you'd like really. It would just be a bit more like energetic.
The Capital ones sort of sounded like you were there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
that's
sort
kind of
the
what it was, 'cause
energy
it
of,
was-
like the riots going on behind you.
I guess the way
Yeah.
they were trying to pitch it was that sort of like if Capital's going out to a younger audience, they're not going to be as engaged in the news, so you've really got to put the effort in to make
I like the whispery you.
the whispery you. Yeah,
I
but
quite like the energy of the Capital.
some
Like if I
friends
was
told
going
me
to go out
once.
for a little meal with Glenn, I'd want a little whispery
But
Glenn.
I think the Capital one.
Friends
made
told me
stop.
once that they were going out of each other, and they said we were out one evening, and they said we had sex tea the other day. And I said, what? And they said they were listening to the radio when they were having sex, and then I came on in the news, and they said it really like ended the session, as it were. Not as in they stopped having sex, not as in like they both finished.
Oh, they both went bizarre.
Yeah, they just
berserk.
both went, should we turn this off? Yeah.
Last time I went to London, I stayed in, I think it was a Premier Inn. I've never had this before, but it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and next door having sex through the walls. And
Through
I
the
went
walls?
up with a, yeah,
Like
through
a glory hole.
but there's a door. But you know the one those rooms. There's a door between a locked door
Oh,
between.
yes,
terrifying,
yeah.
those doors. I hate
I
those
went
doors.
up to the door to have a little listen.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, why did you do that?
Wouldn't you?
No, I think I'd try and... You said it was like 4 in the morning?
No, 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, 4 in the afternoon? Oh, yeah, I'd listen, yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to have a like. Is this what I think? Fucking hell, this is what I.
Did you try and make a noise to make them aware that
Not
You
at
were-
all. I was
you were-
quiet as a mouse.
apart from the clink of the glass going up against the door?
But I went downstairs and I said, "Could I please move rooms?"
Can I get to
To
the other
the other side.
Yeah, yeah, where the headboard is. Wow, I've never experienced that.
I hadn't either. I was like, "Fuck, it's actually happening! It's happening!"
Fair play to you guys.
Yeah, fuck. So you did it? Did you when you went to? How old were you when you worked in LBC? And
I probably started when I was like 23.
okay, so if I
Yeah.
was 23 working at LBC, I'd have been buzzing my tits off, thinking, "Look at me." Did
in
you feel like
London.
that as you walked into the building, knowing this is where I work? Look at me.
No, not at all, because I couldn't, there's not a lot of money in news reading. I couldn't like afford to,
is what
I couldn't
you're
afford to get the tube home or anything like that. Like I'd have to walk like 6 miles home from it.
How
It was
much?
like,
How much?
it was, so I'm not going to say how much. I'm not going to say how much because I know that those fees have not increased over the last few years, and I'm not willing to say how much they're currently being paid.
ton. We're talking a ton.
No, we're not at all. I've got it.
I like strong, Glenn. Put your
I
foot down,
definitely,
Glenn.
I earned more at the same time as an office temp doing admin. Definitely
No.
earned more doing that, yeah.
But the amount of skirt you got off the back of it was unbelievable. I should have
Of doing admin. Oh, Thames Water, yeah. But sometimes the only times I'd have to really cross paths with Katie Hopkins was occasionally we'd both be going to the, she'd be going down to the studio, I'd be going to the news booth, and it would just be us in the stairwell, and she'd be going down the stairs, and I'd be stood at the top of the stairs, and I would sometimes think, I could kill Katie Hopkins now, and I truly think no one would mind.
Would it make the news? I guess it would.
Yeah, it would 100%. Yeah. It made the news when she was sacked from it, so yeah.
I can't. Well, I sort of knew she was playing a character. I think.
I think we all sort of go, you can't believe anyone.
Yeah.
No, because also you go, she'd never have gotten a job anywhere in the first place. If you were just the whole time just going into every room sort of going, God, I fucking hate everyone who isn't from the UK, you go, you got to have a conversation with someone like that. I think they hoped, when they put her on the radio show, I think they hoped that it would be, she spouts her bile, but all the listeners are like ringing in going, what the fuck are you talking about? And instead what happened was people who don't like Katie Hopkins just didn't listen. And so the listeners were just people who did like Katie Hopkins, so she'd spout her bile, and everyone who rang up would be sort of like, you hit the nail on the head, thank you very much.
Did you ever see her go, God, I was a bit much then, wasn't I? Did you ever see her sort of regret the way she was behaving?
No, not at all. Because she was making a decent living from it at the time.
But what weird thing, you go, I did that thing last night, I wonder what the backlash is going to be. I wonder if I'm going to have a...
I used to find it mad that she'd leave on her own, but she'd leave in Leicester Square at like 1 PM or whatever, just leave on her, like she didn't have like a minder or anything like that. She would just walk home through Leicester Square. I found that insane.
And did she ever get anyone abuse? Do you know?
No, it was really weird. I think because people just don't. People are so much more confrontational online than they are in person. I think if you saw her in person, you just go, "Oh shit, is that Kitty?" And then by that point, she's gone.
I saw the BNP guy. What's his name?
David Earl.
No, the.
You see me every morning.
Nick Griffin.
Yeah. Saw him at King's Cross, and that blew my mind. He was just stood on the platform, and like, I was just like, why is no one sort of, including myself,
I find it really weird. I go, how are you not terrified of being told off?
There's like two.
How are you terrified of not about someone not having a go at you?
And there's people from all over the world on that platform, all different, nationalities, and you're going, you hate us. What? Fuck you. Like, it was just sort of like, I don't know, just like, well, I'm now going to walk around with people that I've openly said shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I got nervous enough. I did a tweet about going to a Spice Girls concert a few years ago, and I did a video pretending I was
seen that. So funny. So with the realisation of your...
Yeah. And it went, but it kind of went uncontrollably viral, which isn't a good thing. You want stuff to go viral, you don't want it to go uncontrollably viral, and it did, which meant people got really angry because whatever goes viral, people are always going to get angry about it.
It's so funny.
It was just me. I think it was like I went with my girlfriend on her birthday to go see the Spice Girls at Wembley. This is about 3 years ago, and I posted a video of myself sort of saying like, I've just I've gone with my girlfriend to see the Spice Girls, and I've just realised now it means I've got to see the Spice Girls. And it was just me sort of having this dawning look of realisation on my face of like, oh fuck. Even though I had a really good time. It was just like a 3-second video.
It's funny because you're in the stadium. You're clearly in the stadium.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god, it was just the response was lovely at first, and then it just got, the people were just sort of like, I'd have fucking killed for tickets to the Spice Girls. Why do you want to murder Emma Bunton so much? This guy says he wants to murder Emma Bunton, and then it was like, and then it started to get really like.
How did you feel? Did you feel anxious from it all?
It was amongst the most scared and stressed I've ever been in my life.
What?
It was. I was so scared. I had to like lock my Twitter account for a while. I was really, because it just started to get more. Then it started to get more out of control when people started just screenshotting just my face. And then that started doing the rounds. So eventually people were like, "Oh, what's this video?" And someone was like, "Oh, it's some guy who's being like racist at a concert." And it was like, "Oh shit!" But so there's nothing you can do because people have then just
being racist at a concert.
Because people were just going by like a still image. So they were like, "Oh, I think it's some guy hurling abuse at." He said he wants to like murder Victoria Beckham or something. I think it started to get really like so it was like crazy. But I remember being really too scared to like. I remember getting on the tube the next day and being like and feeling like everyone's looking at you because I was like, am I this guy? I'm this apparently this horrible person. I was so scared. I was so scared of it.
So weird from such a stupid tweet.
It was so weird. It was like
it's really
least
funny as well.
Harmful tweet of all time. But I would like lock my account. I'd lock my account for a few days, and then
This is what blows my mind about the world, where I'm like, okay, show me that tweet. Like, if you could go back and you go, right, I'm going to show you this tweet, right? So no one's seen it.
Yeah, guess what the backlash is.
Guess what happens to this chap from this tweet. You'd just be like, what? People started calling him racist. And you're like, what? But he's just done a silly joke about being at the spot.
Because it was just because people were going by, people then weren't watching the video. They were just going by a screenshot of my face and going, I'm guessing he looks like he'd be a because I think because I wasn't wearing my glasses and the angle it was taken at, I think people thought I looked like a jock, and that made it worse. So I think that that was insane. I mean, so I'd lock my account for a few days, and I'd unlock it for like 10 seconds, and as soon as I unlocked it for 10 seconds, it would be like, it's been retweeted 1,000 times. I'd be like, right, fuck, lock the account again, lock the account. It was like opening a door briefly during a zombie apocalypse, and then you shut the door again.
I've just watched it. It's 6 seconds long.
Yes,
with you.
Yeah. You can really do some damage to your life in 6 seconds.
If you delete the tweet, would it have stopped, or was it? Can people?
Yeah, I thought I asked so many people about what I should do, and they were like, "You should keep it up." Because if you delete it, then people are just gonna. People can make their own interpretation of what it even was in the first place.
Oh my god!
So I was like, leave the video up, because if it really does go uncontrollable, then people eventually would look at the video and go, "Sorry, is that what this is about?" Yeah.
Glenn responded with, "Wow, this blew up. It'd be silly of me not to use this as an opportunity for a bit of promotion, so check out the Spice Girls on SoundCloud."
I think I typed that out through like nervous tears. I think I was really.
One letter a day. Like.
Yeah, I think I was. That is amongst the most scared of.
Yeah, let's just keep it light.
I love how flippant it sounds in reality.
It's so bizarre. But I felt like it was one of the few times. It's the only time I've ever felt like the main character on Twitter, and it was a really unpleasant situation to be in. But to go back to one point, if I was scared to get on the tube over that, how the fuck is Nick Griffin going around King's Cross?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think he looked at me, and I was just like, I don't even want to look at you. You know, you sort of. Oh,
yeah.
I don't want any connection with you. But yeah, people just.
Yeah, just in case anyone took a photo, and it's sort of like Joe Wilkinson and Nick Griffin share a smile on like King's Cross platform.
I'm now looking at all the replies.
Loads of them have been since deleted, because I tried to have a look at them a couple of years ago to be like, right, let's have a look at actually what happened, and most of them just aren't there anymore.
I got we did a radio interview this morning, and I flippantly made fun of my football team's performance last night. It was a really good night, and we beat Brentford in the cup, right?
Oh, you Gilliam? Oh, right, okay, yeah, great, yeah.
And so Rick Edwards, who's friend of us, said, "Oh, you're not even happy after that win." And I went, "Well, I didn't bloody deserve it." Obviously, because they're a top flight team and they are really good. Bloody someone's put on, like, quoted me back, a Gills fan, and it's got 2 retweets, and I'm having a.
It hasn't. It's got 31 now.
No,
it hasn't.
Fucking hell! I thought, what? But no, I'm literally.
But was that 5 Live?
Yeah, but like, in the moment, you just say something.
I like your response. No. So this bloke wrote, quote, "We so did not deserve that," said Gilliam Joe on Radio 5 Live in response to a question about last night's Gills victory at Brentford. "That may be so, but the Gills were resilient and took their chance when it presented itself." Joe replied with, "Absolutely, just a bit of fun, mate."
He has all the power in this conversation. Oh God, I am genuinely thinking about it a bit, and I have no idea.
No, it's fine. His tweet's fine. He's just having a bit of fun as well.
But I'm just cannot imagine the madness of that. Your situation, though.
Well, we had a bit of it.
When did you have it? What did you have?
We had an awful time about 2 or 3 years ago, probably around your Spice Girls moment.
We'll have to delete it, but...
Did you go to another level reunion concert? Is that what happened? And
we just became the villains of Twitter. I found it so stressful.
Yeah, and it's really weird, because when you... I was talking to my half about it, and... she'd be, "It's fine, it's only Twitter." And you kind of go, I know you're right, but it's also a weird thing to be in the middle of.
Yeah, and it's still there. It's there published forever. It's so much different to someone. It's ultimately is important that someone honking their horn at you if you cut them off in traffic. But the difference between that and Twitter is that Twitter, it is still there forever. And it's still technically, someone can find that years down the line.
Yeah. Well, people lost jobs, haven't they, and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. I know from, but yeah, it's just really when you're in the eye of the storm, it's just like this is and I know it like does.
I remember getting an email saying Steve Bennett's written an article on it. Oh, here we go. Bennett's involved. Where's this going?
And no one gives a shit apart from you. Everyone's like, people reply and then move on. But you thinking, all they're thinking about is what they're saying I did.
Are you nervous about Nicholas Casper at the moment?
Me? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I know him as Orpington Gills.
And that's just the one opinion you've seen. We don't know how many conversations people privately had about the Five Live interview. Not to terrify you further, Joe.
I think the thing is, it's like I was saying to David. I was at the side of the pitch, then went round to the sort of corner bit to be some other friends, and it was just on the edge of the loony pack. There's always a loony pack, and I was like, just hope some of them haven't heard it, because I want to go to other games, and don't have to shout. Yes, I know they were resilient.
Yeah, you don't want to get beaten up by the Gillingham Ultras.
Yeah, exactly. They're all about 17, so it'd just be embarrassing. Now that probably get in another, not all 17. I'm 25.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. You know what I mean?
Some of them were actually more mature for their age.
Yeah. Oh God! Well, I'm just not going to go.
Oh, flip. Are you on tour, Glenn?
Yeah, I'm about halfway through a tour at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, how's it going?
It's all right, thank you. Yeah, it's nice. I'm not sick of it, which is the main thing.
And you're not counting how many jokes anymore, I believe.
No, I'm not counting how many jokes. The temptation is there, but actually, I've got to say, I'm shedding jokes.
Sorry, what's that?
Time?
That's time. Right, sorry. We've got to
come on, we got to
keep going. I know. Sorry.
What is this?
I thought it'd be funny to have Petra knock on the door and shout time. But it was in the crucial bit about you selling his show, so I feel awful.
No, I haven't counted how many jokes. I can have a vague guess, but I'm not counting.
What's the
at all.
vague guess though?
320.
What you wrote 320 jokes?
Shit.
I think
for your hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, so 320 in the hour, but actually the tour show's longer, so it'll be more than that. Yeah.
Fucking hell! How many? Right. How long does that take you to write? How many that joke?
Usually a year, because I'd go to the Fringe every year.
One a day.
But this, that's our job. That's our job.
But it's hard to write a joke.
Yeah, it is. And I've got to say, most of the stuff I write doesn't end up in the show. So I'll probably write maybe 5 or 6 things a day, but most of them would be useless. And I can go 2 weeks without writing a single usable joke. But then what happened is I'll have one really useful day where you go, oh, great, that's 20 in one day, or something like that, and they've all ended up in the show.
Okay,
but Joe, this is no indication of quality. For all we know, the jokes are really bad.
I bet you've got some absolute bangers in there. You go, here we go. Now we're going to read this one out. Have you got some for about top 5 where you go, this is super, this joke?
You think, yeah. Will you do one of your mid-range ones, and you go, wait till you get the harpoon joke. You're gonna fucking lose your head.
It's imperative that people don't see the show, or that you don't hear any of the jokes, because as far as you guys are concerned, the jokes are good. So it's really important that you don't see the show at any point, because I want to keep that image in your head that it's a good.
Because at the moment you're sounding the dog's danglers, aren't you? Because I'm just can't get out 20 in a day, and they're all gold in my head.
But they're not it's not like, when I say joke, I mean an individual line that you hope would get a laugh, and then the topper to that would also
be count as a separate. Is that
we count that as a separate. Okay. Even a facial expression or hand gesture that is done afterwards would be that as well. So the laugh lines rather than jokes, you know.
Oh, okay. So not like.
So I don't mean every day I come up with separate 4-minute routines. That's not. I also can't write routines. I've never been able to ever.
Can I be cheeky and ask for one joke, please?
Cheeky boy.
No, I know.
Cheeky
I just
boy.
wouldn't. It's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster.
Yes, a kind of why David's asking.
Yeah. No. I can't. I can't. I simply can't. I simply cannot.
I love you've got things that you will not back down on, and I love that.
Yeah, proper blood from a stone stuff. I'm not. Yeah, I can't because I just. Do you know what? I had someone at a dinner party read out a joke of mine to the table, and it got no reaction, and I was begging them not to read it out, and they did, and it got nothing. And so I'm haunted by previous experiences. No, and I remember.
I know it'll be good. I just know. So I'll say.
Do you know what? I had done the joke on TV, so it was like it considered like it'd been considered all right enough for an edit.
Yeah,
but it was. But there was and then there was a occasion probably about 5 years ago where my family had invited like my relatives over for like Boxing Day, and I left the room briefly, and when I came back, my uncle was on my Twitter just reading out my tweets to the room, but he was reading out like the captions to photo jokes, but not explaining the photo. So he'd go, "These trousers look too big. What's meant to be funny?" And he calls himself a comedian. It was just, moments like that make me so terrified that this in front of two professionals is the ultimate. This is our like top 10 worst case scenario for me.
Should we have a joke off?
No. I'm just
Come on.
I'm 100% Come on, you shits. No. It's awful. It's funny when it's someone else. It's not funny when it's me.
Oh, God, I'd love to hear that.
What? Just the
Firing jokes at one another.
Backwards. Next. Oh.
Yeah. Bang.
See how long we used to do it before? And then, oh, God, imagine we did it for like half an hour.
It'd be awful. It'd be horrible.
I'd listen to that. No.
Are we talking about actual jokes or just ideas?
Jokes
you've written.
Catalogue.
No.
There's absolutely no way I could do it for half an hour.
Most of the stuff on my phone is just ideas. It's just vague ideas that haven't anything yet.
We could tinker with them now, like see if we can craft any gold out.
No, the only idea I've put in my phone so far today. The only idea I've put in my phone so far today is unusable.
How do you know it's unusable?
I'll tell you it.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Ooh.
This is the only idea I have on my phone of what if the way you dealt with constipation was you had to do like the Heimlich maneuver on someone's bum, and so for like when you've done it, like a turd would just like fly out across a restaurant. Like when someone's successful, that's literally all I'd written in my phone. That's unsalvageable.
It's a funny image though.
It's a funny image.
Do you ever think, can't use it as stand-up, might pop it on Twitter?
That's almost all my tweets are.
Oh, right, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's annoying because if one does feel like an actual structured joke and it goes too well on Twitter, I'm like, oh, fuck, I've blown it on Twitter. I can't do that now.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Kind of a bit, yeah. Obviously, no.
Have you taken any of your tweets and put that into your stand-up, Joe? Any of your tweets? And is it worth me going down your Twitter timeline?
You could do. I have.
Your tweets are so funny.
I haven't written anything for years now.
But I'll sometimes just go back through. I'll just choose a random year like 2015 and just go through some of your.
Really?
Yeah.
How
I want about you can't wait to get up in the middle of the night to have a piss. It's so fun.
He's right.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Lovely beginning.
Joe's puffing up.
I am not puffing up. I'm getting hot. I'm with you, Glenn. It's awful talking.
Isn't it horrible? Isn't it horrible?
Yeah.
Oh, but thank you for being lovely. But, ooh, yeah.
Have you tried that in your stand-up? It's a nice line.
What, have I tried saying that? No. But now
I think it would work. I think it would go down well.
Now Glenn said he likes it. I had a thing that Alan Carr said he liked, and I did for about 4 years longer than I should have done. Like,
what was it?
I can't remember. We did a gig. I tell you, it was so long ago that it was like he wasn't properly famous. He was like, he'd done like the Royal Variety. I remember he'd done Royal Variety because he said it was on that night, so he was doubling up with the Royal Variety. So it was like really early on.
You just wouldn't do a second gig if you were doing Royal Variety, would you?
Well,
I'd probably build my day around that.
Oh no, he was on the telly that night doing it.
Right. Okay. So he's doubling up watching it. Right.
Yeah. So he. So I went on. I didn't do particularly well. It's a Bottle Rocket in Leicester, and he was. So it's quite small, and he was closing it. And so I did this bit, and it just didn't really work that well, I thought. And he said, oh, "I really liked that." And then I did it for years afterwards because he'd said.
I think if you're a really successful comedian, that's a way to screw over up and coming
so
comedians
I don't
who
think
you
it
hate.
was for that reason.
That's what I think. I would do that maliciously, I think.
I'm hoping he didn't do that. I don't think he would ever.
Particular comedian I shared a green room with recently, and just before I went on stage, they like swigged big bottle of liquid, like swashed it around the mouth like mouthwash, and just spat it out onto the floor. And I thought that's a really high status way of going on stage. I know. I really want to do that. I know. I want to do that myself. I want to do it with Covent Garden soups.
I don't know what to say to that. What a disgusting
human being.
What? It's unbelievable. I think I would laugh my head off initially because it'd be so shocking.
But it was just really surreal, yeah.
And then go, oh, that's awful. But it's quite weird outside, but indoors. I think it was an indoors.
It was. It was at Alexandra Palace.
It was Alexandra Palace. The 150-year-old beautiful.
Yeah. It was like a sort of stone floor, which I guess made it more acceptable than if it was like a cream carpet.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, Glenn, are you? How much are you studying your ticket sales on tour?
Oh, this is
religiously.
A great question.
Religiously. And to the point where if I'm unable to receive like a weekly update, then I really panic going to each venue because I'm like, I've no idea what Peterborough's going to be like tonight or anything like that. And I'd be lying if I said I hadn't occasionally been on websites and tried to buy the maximum amount of tickets I could.
Nice. Oh,
to see whether or not it will allow me to buy 20.
Yeah.
If I hadn't sold 14.
And then you sort of go down and down and down and go, right, it doesn't let me buy 7. Oh, it does let me buy 6. So I've got 6. Okay, plus the halts. What you want, I think every theatre, for the sake of performers, should have the thing where you choose your own seats and it's got the stage, like cinema seating. And I mean, you can see how many tickets are left. It's great.
I love that.
We did that at the Hastings gig, didn't we?
Yeah.
We you'd sort of refresh. I remember refreshing it and watching dots.
Well, I do that with loads of touring comedians. I go to their theatres and see any tickets I can buy, and then I'll text Joe.
Do you know what? You can do it on the Edinburgh Fringe website. You just keep buying 20 tickets, 20 tickets, 20 tickets, 20 tickets. You just and it will just let you. The maximum you can buy is 20 tickets, but you just make a new basket and put in another 20 tickets, and then you can see how many are available for your show or someone else's. Minus 10% for the holds available. I'm not saying I've ever done this. I'm just saying it's an option available to you.
I think you're perfect for this pod.
A real humbling moment for me was doing the tour show in Northampton, and they had outside my room the list of upcoming shows, but also next to the names all their prices, and I could see how much everyone else was charging, and I was like, I'm being absolutely fleeced here. I'm being absolutely fleeced. I've really undercharged for my tour.
I imagine you would, yeah, because you're like, oh God, 17 seems a lot. It's like it's a horrible choosing your ticket.
Yeah, I think at the time, I wish I'd known what other people were doing. I think at the time I was just like, I'd rather have it cheaper and full than people go, I wouldn't pay an extra £1 to see that. The worst moments on tour, I think, if you get added into a tweet from a particular venue that has, say, 3 comedy shows on that week, and they go, coming up this week, now this one is sold out, this one's sold out, but you can see Glenn on Friday, and you go, and it makes it so much worse that they're like, a Tuesday show is sold out and a Wednesday sold out, but your one at prime time on a Friday, you can walk it, bring a mate.
Fuck. Oh, here's another question, Glenn.
Yeah.
Sorry, taking up loads of your time. Is this all right?
Yeah, sorry, should we do 2 more minutes?
No,
Is that all right?
Someone I know went on quite a big tour, and he said to me, his first week in London, he got all the reviews in. So when he went travelling around the country, he knew that some people thought it was a 2-star show, and he had to do these 80 dates. Oh. So when did you get reviewed, and do you know your show's good and blah, blah, blah? Are you confident with it?
I got reviewed in Edinburgh.
Okay.
So I got all my reviews there.
And your tour had obviously already been booked in at that point.
Yes, yeah. So it got booked in, not knowing what level the show was quality-wise. No idea. So it could have been if Edinburgh had been a real disaster, then that would have been...
How do you think you would have felt doing this tour now, off the back of
a really bad Edinburgh?
Yeah, so you just...
Ashamed in that I was conning the audience 100% easily. Yeah. That's how I would have felt.
Oh, God.
And I probably would have... If a show was badly enough reviewed, I would probably try and cancel a tour, I reckon. Because I really would feel like I'd be conning people.
I saw someone massive get a shitty 1-star review, and I knew they were doing an arena that night. And I just couldn't get my head, because you're trapped. You're doing an arena. You're doing that show, aren't you?
It's got to reach a stage though where you don't. But I cannot. I really hope one day that the day arrives where that wouldn't matter. Where if you got 1 star in the Guardian or something, you'd just go, okay, fine. But
Does anyone feel like that? Does anyone feel like that? Where you go?
I don't know.
Well, I heard an interview. Someone was talking about Paul Weller saying, he wrote a song about Paul Weller.
We spoke about him for 10 minutes full.
I know. So I'm dovetailing.
This is a Paul Weller heavy.
He basically at 19 basically wrote a song about I don't know the song, but about reviewers can basically stick out their arses, but they're pointless basically. And I was at 19. He decided, I don't know if he believed it, but if he did, that's the freedom of not giving a shit from the age of 19.
I don't know. I think writing a song at the age of 19 about how reviewers don't give a shit makes it sound like you've been profoundly affected by specifically a bad review. But someone goes, don't worry about reviewers. I go, you've had 3 stars before. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, you bring up not giving a shit about reviews if you're getting badly reviewed, don't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ignore me.
But it works the inverse. I've had say a really tepid review from a particular reviewer, say 4 years ago, and then this year got a really nice review from them, and someone I know will have been like, that's amazing, and I'm like, no, but when I got the review I didn't like a few years ago, you said that person's a dick and they don't matter. So what? Does this one then?
It's amazing how you can change your opinion of said reviewer.
Yeah.
I think that guy knows his stuff now.
Yeah.
He's learnt.
Well, where are you performing?
Yes, let's plug
Glenn?
your.
I'm trying to let me have a look to see when this is going out, so it makes sense. Hang on a sec.
When's your next
with-
one? I know probably won't make sense.
This weekend,
when
next weekend, and then it breaks till February, so it might just be worth me saying the February ones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it'll be February. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The tour kicks off again in February, and so there's a week in London at the Soho Theatre, and there's places like Brighton and Leeds, and all over, and mostly the southwest of England. That was a bit I neglected for the autumn bit by accident.
Where?
Like Exeter and Cornwall, and even Somerset, if we're counting that as vaguely southwest.
Lovely. Torquay?
Not doing Torquay.
Exeter's near.
I'll come to Exeter. When's your Exeter date?
February, but I do not know the specific.
Oh,
Do you know the
okay.
Come
venue?
along, I'll get you to
What Brighton one are you doing?
Comedia. I'm doing
I
an
bet you're on the
extra
same
couple of
night as
Comedia.
Robert Alton.
Great.
Glen Moore, Exeter.
I think it's a Phoenix in Exeter, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Great.
Yeah. God, it's cheap.
What did I tell you? I
Some would
regret
say
it.
too cheap.
Yeah.
Too cheap? Too cheap?
Yeah.
I worked out
Yeah.
Leeds, I'm making a loss.
No. Are you doing the variety?
No, I'm doing Hyde Park Book Club or something.
How are you making a loss?
Size of the venue and the travel because of the other places I'm performing at either side of it.
Oh, right. Oh, fucking hell, that'll be it. Let's hope you're in a good mood that day.
It's fine, it's next weekend.
Tell you
that's all
what, Glenn. Exeter are playing Charlton Athletic on the day you're in Exeter.
right.
So I'm going to watch that and have a little bit of comedy.
Are you not going to invite Glenn along to watch the game?
Would you like to come to Charlton Athletic with me?
I would, yeah. If you let me know near of a time, I'd be really up for that.
I've got a little season ticket seat next to me.
Oh, great. Yeah, please.
All right, I'll text you then.
Of course. and
Brilliant.
atmosphere.
Thank you, Glenn. for
No,
coming on.
guys, thank you so much for having me.
It's,
And please
really
go
love
and
to see it.
see all the Chatterbait skits. Go and see Glenn. He's brilliant.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
very funny man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you,
very much,
thank you
Glenn.
very much. It terrified me that you'd listen to the ComCom pod. I put it out my head that I'd done it. It makes me so scared.
Sorry.
We're just going to add it at the end of this.
Yeah,
set.
yeah, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
episode. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got an extra hour and 20 minutes of Glenn after.
Cheers, Glenn.
Good.
Cheers,
Was that all
mate.
right? Was that all okay?
It's great.
Good. Okay. All right.
It's
Great.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. I'll
Yeah.
speak to you
We're
guys soon.
definitely going to leave that bit
Yeah.
in of you asking if it was okay as well.
Can't wait. Bye.